Most traders use Fibonacci's wrong. Do you? They draw too many lines, guess the level, and hope price reacts. That is not a system. That's uncertainty. I'm Dennis Wilborn, founder of AutoPilot Trading. We use Fibonacci's as a confirmation zone inside of a rule-based system, not a guessing tool. Inside of this video, I'll show you the Golden Fib Box I use, why it works, and the confirmation I wait for before I take any trade. You ready? Let's go. What if there is a single zone on your charts that can increase your success rate to 60 to 70%? This isn't theory. It's based on real trading, back testing over thousands of trades. I call this zone the Golden Magic Fib Box. Now you can go from breakout frustrations to calm, confident, and consistent setups that put you ahead of 90% of traders. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what are the 3 most important fib retracement levels, how the Golden Magic Fib Box works in your favor, and why this small shift can turn your chaotic orders into calm, consistent setups and triggers. So, hey, let's get into it. So let's talk for a second about the Golden Magic Fib Box strategy. If you know the highest probability entry zone was right in front of you, would you still chase prices? Or would you become a more patient trader? And oftentimes what happens with a more patient trader, they become a more successful trader. The key retracement, and this will show up when we get into the charts, the key retracement that I look at is the 382, 38.2%. And that's one of the things we just blurted out, the 382. And somebody's supposed to know that's the 38.2% retracement from the high or from the low, depending on how you're measuring your Fibonacci. The 50% retracement, the 61.8% retracement, the 78.6%, and then there's the Golden Magic Fib Box. I've been talking about the Magic Fib Box for years. But what it turns out to be is it's the zone between the 38.2% and the 61.8% levels. And that's where I can look for pullbacks for confirmation. One of the things I find really interesting in those levels, and then the extension levels, you don't have to know a lot of them, but the ones I look for primarily are the 1272, and that's the 127.2% extension, the 161.8% extension, and the 200% extension. And again, when you're dealing with Fibonacci's, people just basically say, I'm looking at the 1272. And that is shorthand, if you will, for the 127.2% Fibonacci. So these entries and setups, of course, I talk about regarding profit targets and setups in my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. And if you haven't grabbed a copy of that, check it out. You can either pick up the e-version or a print copy. Now imagine combining all of this in this box into a situation and then rolling in momentum, volume, trend line, and support. That's where things really start to get where they can be repeated. Now we're going to dive into the charts here shortly. Has anybody ever chased an entry that was outside of the Magic Fib Box? I know I have. And in reality, in the past, I've never really had a great plan to take Fibonacci retracements and extensions into consideration. We're going to look at some stats here shortly. But when you wait for price action to come to you instead of chasing breakout, that's when trading finally starts to feel calm, repeatable, and confident. One of the things that, if you're making notes, is that Fibonacci Trading Insights, the probabilities of a Fibonacci, where Fibonacci is going to go. If Fibonacci's break through a certain fib level, the probabilities of it reaching the next level increase by 10 to 20%. If it's a strong trend, that it increases by 20%. And then what about a breakout? If we had a move that breaks out the 100% extension, that's the old swing high. And so I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and start looking at some charts. And I'll come back to these stats here shortly. One of the other things that's really remarkable, and a lot of people do not know this, is that Charles Dow back in 1901 actually basically said that with your primary move, you will often get a pullback that is equal to 1/3 to 2/3 of the original move. And so what does that match up to? That matches up pretty darn close to our fibs. So let's jump over it to take a look at some of these. I'm going to grab my daily charts here, and I'm just going to zoom in over here. The way we do our fibs is to pick the high, pick the low if we're going up. But I want to answer a couple of questions here. One, do I have a pretty strong uptrend? Yes, I do. What are my target areas to be a buyer? I pull back into the Magic Fib Box. Now, just looking at this blindly, I'm saying, okay, that's not really pulling back into the Magic Fib Box there, is it? And so what I'll oftentimes do is I'll come over here to the weekly chart, and I'll just look and say, okay, here is a swing high. There is a swing low. So I can measure this from here down to here. I'm just going to lay my fib in there. And I want to put my glasses on so I can see the top of it. So let's put our fib in right there at the high to the low, and then stop for a second. Now, when we build a Fibonacci tracement extension, and I'm just doing this, I'm not using the projection Fibonacci. I'm just going to use the simple highs and lows and connect them. But on the weekly, they're stronger than on the Fibonacci's that are done on a daily. So let's see what this does for us. And so we have a move which goes from this low right there up to this high. Check it out. What was my pullback here? Well, my pullback was right down to the 618. And where is my Magic Fib Box? My Golden Magic Fib Box is, let's see if I can draw that in there really quick. And there we go. That's my Golden Magic Fib Box. Price is pulled down. And the high of that is approximately 523.29. My low that day was 523. Pulled right down to it. But in looking at that, if I wasn't ready to make a move here or down here at this level, I would have missed it. However, getting the bounce off of it, that made a really good trigger to buy right there on that day, which is 623. Breaking back above the 8-day moving average. In this case, that's the blue line. Price action gapped up, and now it is above the 100% extension. Where did it go? Over the next couple of days, it went right up 3 days, hit the 1272, continued climbing, broke above the 1272. And what's the rule? That increases the probability that prices are going to go all the way up to the 1618. 1618 was hit on this day and then closed above it. That increases the probability by, since I have a strong uptrend, it increases the probability I'm going to reach the 200% extension by at least 10 to 20%. And so that's the mechanism. Even on a uptrend, when I first looked at this uptrend and I hadn't laid on my Fibonacci's, I went, that's just a really tight uptrend. I couldn't have gotten into that. But then once I laid on the fibs, the answer to that was, oh, yes, I could have. And I felt like a dumbass for not measuring it on my own to be able to say, yeah, that would have been a great entry. And we could have gotten in that. No, and we'll come back and finish when the clues come together, because there's several other clues that we want to be taking a look at. But a primary is that Magic Fib Box. And then target shooting, getting up to the 100% mark, When you get a breakout above the 100% extension, there's a 60 to 70% chance that you're going to reach the 1272. There is a 40 to 50% chance that you're going to reach the 1618. And then lastly, there is a 20 to 30% chance that you're going to reach the 200% extension. Let's go back and look at the charts real quick again. Weekly charts are stronger than the projection of swings off the daily chart. But I wanted to grab this one here. It was a simple one and it qualified. Now, I could have also taken the swing. Okay, clearly that's a swing high because the week after it's a lower high. So I could have actually taken one from all the way from down here, all the way to up here, and then done the extension from there, which would have been interesting. The other thing that I'll be looking at also is here's a really strong downtrend. What's its projection and where's the break and where's the convergence of clues, which we'll be answering a little bit later. But I was basically honing in on this section right there. So the other thing I can do here, what's very interesting, now I'm going to just really quickly jump over to the daily. We'll leave that magic fib box in there. On the daily chart, I have a swing low here, swing high here. Now I could take from here to here and see what that gave us, but let's go ahead and just go from that low there up to that high. So let me draw that in real quick. What I'm looking at is I'm trying to look for a kind of a continuous move. And so that's another, so check this out. On that move, there's my little fib box, but it still functioned the same way. And matter of fact, I came down into the fib box right there and popped up above it. So part of the way people can utilize these boxes and fib lines, here's kind of a lesson or a rule for you. If I pull back into the fib box on the move that I'm measuring, if prices drop below a level, when it bounces back up through that level, that can be a buy trigger. If I miss it, I can go back to, hey, I had a close above the 8. That counts. And that would be another buy order. But if I was just purely trading just the Fibonacci system, a move above the other level, I breached it, came back up through it, and that could be a buy point. Or I could take the buy point here above this, and this was the 618. If I bought there, where do you think I would put my stop loss? Okay, put your thinking caps on, guys. This is Jeopardy. If I bought breaking the 618, where would I put a stop loss? I would go just a 50% retracement. Now I would go just a little bit below it because I don't want to posit my trading specifically on top of where the fib level is, simply because the inaccuracy that we generate with the variables when we draw the lines, and each of those lines is worth a couple of dollars maybe. So that's one of the reasons. So you go just a little bit below it, and that's where your stop loss would be. In a case like this is the Qs. A case like that, if I bought there approximately, let's say I bought it that level, and I'd be looking at less than a percentage point away. Market makers know where, and that's why the majority of traders that are out there, they lay their order in right on top of the level. And so the market makers will usually drive it just a little bit below that, just pick up some unwary people. Okay, we took off, and on this kind of move right here, what happened? We got all the way up to the 1272, came really close to the 1618. The next day, pulled back to the 1272, then took off again. And as you can see, we finally breached the 1618 and then finally took out the 200 on this move. And what that was is the move that I was measuring here, I have to always keep a reference, was only on that move there. So this was the parent move, and this is the baby move. This is the offspring, if you will. It went all the way up here. Now, once it gets up to the 200, it doesn't mean it can't keep going up, but that can mean that I could run into issues at the 1272, closing in on the 1618. That's where I could run into potential stalling. And also, because each one of those levels, remember, our probability of reaching each one of those levels goes down as time goes on, even if we have breached and closed above the 100% level. The thing that I found most interesting as I was doing the restudying this Fibonacci's is that when a pullback happens going into the Golden Magic Fib Box, backtesting show that there's a 60% success rate if there is a strong trend that will go back up to the 100% extension and break out and continue to go higher. So 60% success rate is a pretty darn good success rate. What we want to watch out for, though, is when prices do get up around the 100% mark. In other words, we measured from here to down. So as prices get back up towards the 100%, we'll oftentimes, and this is the 100% right here, we'll often see prices stall. And so if things are going to fail, that oftentimes is where it will fail, and I'll do a little bit more of a pullback and bounce down. Grab my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. It offers the 4 setups and triggers that fuel the AutoPilot trading system.